What's going on, guys? This is Britter here, and I am going through the Odin development course, the Odin project, and we're in the Flexbox part, and they suggested this game, so I'm going to go ahead and go through Flexbox Froggy to try to learn this better. So, the first one, welcome to Flexbox Froggy, a game where you help Froggy and friends by writing CSS code. Guide this frog to the lily pad on the right by using the justify content property, which aligns items horizontally and accepts the following values. Okay, so we're going to do justify content, and we're going to use flex end. That's going to move the frog to the right. There we go. On to the next one. Okay, use justify content again to help these frogs get to their lily pads. So justify content. Alright, so they need to be centered. So center, and there they are. Help all three frogs find their lily pads by using justify content. This time the lily pads have lots of space all around them. If you find yourself forgetting the possible values for a property, you can click on the property name to view them. So we're going to do justify content. Center's not going to work. So justify content, and I think we're going to want to do space evenly. So let's try that. Not quite. So maybe space between. Try space between. Nope, not space between. Maybe space around. There we go. Space around. Next. Help all three frogs. Oh, now the lily pads on the edges have drifted to the shore. Increasing the space between them, use justify content. This time the lily pads have equal spacing between them. So justify content. They have equal spacing between them. So space evenly. No. We don't want to do flex in. That's going to move them all to the right. Space around maybe. No. Did I try space evenly? Space between. There we go. Now use align items to help the frogs get to the bottom of the pond. This CSS property aligns items vertically and accepts the following values. So we're going to do align items and flex end. Perfect. I got that flex end down. If nothing else. Lead the frog to the center of the pond using a combination of justify content and align items. So we're going to do justify content, align items. I think align items is going to be center, which it did nothing so far. Justify content, center. Let's try center. There we go. The frogs need to cross the pond again, this time for some lily pads with plenty of space around them. Use a combination of justify content and align items. So justify content, align items. We don't want to align them center. Align items, stretch. Justify content, space between. That's right. So align items needs to be flex end. And this needs to be space around maybe. There we go. I get confused on the around and betweens. The frogs need to get in the same order as their lily pads using flex direction. The CSS property defines the direction items are placed in the container and accepts the following values. So we need to do flex direction, and we need to do row reverse. I think I got this one down. There we go. Help the frogs find their column of lily pads using flex direction. So we're going to do flex direction, and I think this one just needs to be column. Yes. Help the frogs get to their own lily pads. Although they seem close, it will take both flex direction and justify content to get them there. So flex direction, row reverse. And then justify content, flex start, I think. Oh, nope. It's flex end because we did reverse. Yep, okay. Help the frogs find their lily pads using flex direction and justify content. Notice that when flex direction is a column, justify content changes to vertical and align items to the horizontal. So flex direction, we want to do column. No. Yes, that's correct. And then justify content, we want it to be flex end. Yes. Help the frogs find their lily pads using flex direction and justify content. Alright, so first of all, we need to do flex direction, column reverse, maybe? Okay, perfect. And then we need to do justify content. I think I'm getting this, guys. Space between, I think. Space evenly. Space evenly. Nope, not space evenly. Space between. There we go. Still confused on those, which spaces are which. Alright, so we're going to do flex direction. Flex direction, we need to do flex reverse. It's not flex reverse. Row reverse. Row reverse. And then we need to do justify content. That needs to be flex end. Nope. Row reverse, flex end. Do we need to change it? No, we don't change it to columns because that's going to stack them. We do align items. Alright, justify content. We're going to do flex direction, row reverse, column reverse. Align items, flex end, center, baseline, stretch. So, alright, so that's the basic. Justify content. I feel like we need to do column reverse. Column, no, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right at all. I think this one has to be row reverse. Okay, then justify content, not flex end. We're not going to do center's going to put it in the center. Oh, that's what we need to do. Alright, now line items needs to be flex end. Yes! Okay. I'm slowly getting this. Sometimes reversing the row or column order of a container is not enough. In these cases, we can apply the order property to individual items. By default, items have a value of 0, but we can use this property to also set it to a positive or negative integer value. Use the order property to reorder the frogs according to their lily pads. So the yellow needs to have order 3. Okay, that was easy. I didn't know we could do more than 2, so I'm surprised that worked. Use the order property to send the red frog to his lily pad. So in order to send the red guy to his lily pad, we need to do -3, I think. Yes. Another property you can apply to individual items is align self. This property accepts the same values as align items and its value for the specific item. So we're just worried about yellow, so we're going to do align self. So column, no, align self, we want to do flex in, I think. Yes. Perfect. Combine order with align self to help the frogs to their destination. So combine order with align self. So we're going to do order 1, align self, row, flex in. Yes. Oh no, the frogs are all squeezed onto a single row of lily pads. Spread them out using the flex wrap property, which accepts the following values. Wrap, no wrap. So we want to do flex wrap, and we want to wrap. Perfect. Help this army of frogs form 3 orderly columns using a combination of flex direction and flex wrap. So flex direction, we want it to be column, flex wrap, we want to be wrap, not warp, wrap. The two properties, flex direction and flex wrap, are used so often together that the shorthand property flex flow was created to combine them. This shorthand property accepts the value of the two properties separated by a space. For example, you can use flex flow, row, wrap to set rows and wrap them. Try using flex flow to repeat the previous level. So flex flow, and then we're going to do row, wrap. Flex flow, column wrap. There we go. The frogs are spread all over the pond, but the lily pads are bunched at the top. You can use align content to set how multiple lines are spaced apart from each other. This property takes the following values: flex start, flex end, center, space between, space around, stretch. This can be confusing, but align content determines the spacing between lines, while align items determines how the items as a whole are aligned within the container. When there is only one line, align content has no effect. So we've got three rows of frogs. We need to align content, and we want to do no, so we don't want to do align content, right? We want to do align items, and we want to do space around. No, that didn't do anything. When there is only one line, align content has no effect. Oh, so we do need to do align content, and then flex start maybe? Yes. Okay. It's easy when you have it all laid out for you. Now the current has bunched the lily pads at the bottom. Use align content to guide the frogs there. So we're going to do align content, and we're going to do flex end. The frogs have had a party, but it is time to go home. Use a combination of flex direction and align content to get them back to their lily pads. Alright, so we've got flex direction. We need to do reverse column? No, reverse row? No. Flex direction can take. Oh, I keep doing it wrong. Row reverse. Okay. That's wrong. We want to do column reverse. Perfect. Now we want to do align content center. Heck yeah. Last one, guys. Bring the frogs home one last time by using the CSS properties you've learned. Okay, so we're gonna do justify content, column reverse, row reverse. That's not doing anything, because I can't do that. Align content. We don't want to align content yet. We want to do... Okay, let's start over. Justify content. We don't need flex end or flex start, because that's just going to move it to one side or the next. Line items. Line self. We don't need a line self for the pond, so I don't think we need to use that one at all. Align content, I think, is what we need. Align content. And then flex wrap. We want it to wrap. Flex wrap wrap. Although nothing's changed in here, so align content. I don't know that we need to change anything here, but let's try flex end. What we need to do is shorthand property for flex direction and flex wrap. I think what we need to do is flex wrap, wrap, reverse. Alright, that's correct. Now we need to do flex flow, align items. We kind of need to rotate the items now. So In order to do that, we have to do flex direction. And we want to do column reverse. Alright, so that's kind of it. However, these two yellow guys are still there. So two yellow guys are still down here. So what if I do no wrap? That does that. So if we do wrap reverse, there's that. Align self. Aligns a flex item along the cross axis, overriding the align items. But how do I select just the yellow guys? Align. I don't think we can in this instance. I could be wrong. So let's do align self. Flex start. That overrides the align items. Align items. I think honestly what we need to do is take this off and do justify content. Space between. No, because that just did the space between the yellow guys. Let's try space evenly is just going to space the yellow guys. Space around is still just spacing the yellow guys. How do I select just the yellow guys? Like right now we're selecting just the yellow guys, but I think it's something in the flex wrap. It can't be though. Flex flow. Flex direction and flex wrap. Flex direction, flex wrap. So I already did flex wrap. Flex direction. That's gonna change everything if I do that. We need column reverse. Justify content. Space. And that's just changing. Let's try flex start. Let's try center. Alright, so that's got it justified properly. And then we just need to get it pushed over this way. So line content space between, maybe. Oh my gosh, I got it. Alright guys, we have completed the Flexbox Froggy, which is awesome. You win. Thanks to your mastery of Flexbox, you were able to help all of the frogs to their lily pads. Just look how happy they are. We hope you found this adventure riveting. That's so funny. Alright guys, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.